Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thanks so much for joining me. Today I'm going to share with you an LDRS creative project using this cute little stamp and die set. It's called Winnie Boutique. Super cute, has 3 sentiments in here. Have a marvelous day, good friends are a gift, and then a super cute one that says girls just want to have funs. Love that. As I opened the package, I did realize that the stamps themselves are not photopolymer. They are maybe an acrylic. So when they are an acrylic stamp, what I like to do is rub my hand over them to kind of season them a little bit, and then also use my MISTI for stamping, just in case they don't stamp well the first time. But these actually stamped pretty good, so I wasn't too worried. Now I'm going to ink out my images with my little mini Raven ink cube. This is part of the Cobblestone ink cube set, and the Raven, well, the whole Cobblestone set is a hybrid ink set, so it's great for any coloring medium. Now, I did leave the coloring in, but you'll see here in a minute when I zoom in, my camera never focused. I'm still working out the bugs of my new camera. Finding time, I have to go through the manual, but it just never focused. So unfortunately I didn't leave the coloring in. I skipped it. I didn't want you to see blurry coloring. But here's my little images all ready to go. I'm going to use my white gel pen and add a few highlights around little Miss Winnie's dress and then her hair pretty. I'm also going to dot her little eyes to make them a little bit more brighter. But I'm so sorry about the coloring. My goodness. I have to work on that. But since this set does come with coordinating dies, I'm going to take them and die cut out all of my images here, and they just line up beautifully. We're going to create a fun little scene today, and we'll do the little house. Okay, my images are die cut. Now we need to create our background, and for that I'm going to be using a couple die sets from LDRS Creative. The first one is the Scalloped Rectangle Die Set, and the second one here is the Sun and Cloud Die Set. I'm just using the frame portion of the Scalloped Rectangle Die Set to create my background panel. And then for my sun and clouds, I'm not even going to separate them. I'm going to keep them together because they're stitched cloud. The smaller cloud has stitch lines, and I want 2 of the same clouds. So I just die cut that out twice. Okay, we're going to color in our background with our hybrid inks here. For my sky, I'm using the swimming hole, and that is part of the County Fair set. I'm kind of going heavy towards the top and then kind of fading out. And then for my little grassy area on the bottom, I'm going to be using Key Lime Pie. And this was a really juicy ink pad, so I kind of got it a little bit heavy, but it was such a pretty color I didn't mind. But I'm just going to add a little color to the bottom of my panel, and that's part of the County Fair set also. So that's my background, and now I want to color in my little sunshine. I'm going to be using a different mini ink cube set. This is from Jewelry Beads, and I'm using the Dandelion. And then I'm doing a little bit of shading with the In Your Face Orange. That's also part of the Jewelry Bead set. And I was going to go crazy and color the other sunshine too. And I thought, well, we just need one, so I stopped in my tracks. But the sun is actually layerable, so that centerpiece has stitch lines on it also. So I'm going to layer that in the middle of my sun. And then I'm going to use my 2 little clouds here. I'm going to flip over my sunshine and my clouds and my little boutique, and we're going to go ahead and adhere them to our background panel, kind of creating a scene. And then we'll go ahead and add Mini Winnie, and we're going to tuck her little purse underneath her hand there. Super cute. And I'm going to remove this cloud, and I'm going to actually place it over here on the right side for a little bit more balance area. We'll just tuck it behind the boutique there. Okay, now we're going to stamp our sentiment. I chose a sentiment that says have a marvelous day. I'm going to stamp it with the same Raven ink cube. It's a black ink. And then I did trim it down with my paper trimmer, and then I just blocked it off. Now after we have that done, I'm going to add a piece of foam tape behind my sentiment, and I'm going to move Winnie's purse from her right hand over to her left hand. That way I can tuck my sentiment on that bottom area there. Super adorable. Love that little boutique. Okay, I'm going to use my tape runner, and we're going to adhere this panel to an A2 size card base. We'll just adhere it in the center. And then for bells and whistles, I'm going to bring in my glossy accents. I'm going to go over the windows on the little boutique on the upper floor, and then the main window down on the bottom floor. Just going to add some shine to that. And then I'll do the little heart here that's hanging off the boutique. And then I'm going to bring in a little bit of sparkle using my aqua shimmer pen. I'm going to go over this. We're going to shiny up our sun, and then the clouds, and then Winnie's purse and her dress and her hair pretty also. And I think my pen's going dry a little bit, so I had to squeeze a little bit out on the side and pick up my sparkle there. But that completes my card for today, guys. Super fun. This little boutique is adorable. If you're interested, I'll leave links down below in the description area for you guys. I thank you so much for stopping by. I wish you a marvelous day, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.